Identify business analysis performance improvements. So we need to assess business analysis work and to plan to improve processes where required. So this somehow aligns with lessons learned because we are identifying business analysis performance improvements. So we are inspecting and adapting. That's an agile concept. So what we need here is BA approach and what are the objectives of our performance. So we assess business analysis work and plan to improve processes. So what we are doing is whatever work we are doing, there is an assessment metrics around that. And then when we find anything is digressing from expected result, we will plan to improve the process. That's how we come up with a BA performance assessment, which is the output of this, right? So it's pretty straightforward. Wherever you're digressing, let's find out and improve.
Okay.
What do we do? There are certain elements. Identify business analysis performance improves and elements. So what we need to do to identify BA performance improvements. First of all, we should be able to do performance analysis. So you might have already planned it in your BA approach that when I'm going to analyze, when I am going to track the performance of business analysis, how I'm going to analyze, guys. So you need to understand performance analysis in that case. Now, when you're getting results, you're analyzing them. So you're not only analyzing your performance, you're somewhere analyzing the results that are coming up, which will lead to your performance analysis only. So let's say, so how do I tell? There is a difference between these two. Analyze results. If you have conducted an elicitation session with the set of stakeholders, right? And then again, you set up another session. It has been like 3-4 times. You're not able to get the consensus. So you need to take a step back and think, why is it that it is taking so much of time, right? Why is it that every time we call for that meeting, there is something new that crops up? Is there anything you can do to reduce this wastage of time? So you need to analyze these results, negative results. You can analyze positive results also, so that you can keep repeating them, right? So you analyze this result that there is no consensus. So maybe you came up with a solution that let me talk to the stakeholders separately in individual meetings. Let me get their viewpoints. Let me consolidate them. And then let me call a meeting with a wider group wherein I will quickly summarize those viewpoints from various stakeholders. And I will try to converge their thinking by actually bringing the commonalities between those thought processes. So I analyzed this result and I made some improvement. Performance is if I'm not able to, even after doing this, I'm not able to do, I'm not able to get the consensus again and again. So there is something which is impacting. Is this an skill issue or it is something else? Then I might want to take help from my seniors who can help me in my performance analysis. Or it could be that you are getting feedbacks from your project managers or your development team who are saying that you're not getting the clear picture of the requirements are not detailed, all of that. So you can do that performance analysis also and can introduce the steps to improve your BA performance. So I hope you got the difference between performance analysis and analyze results.
Yeah.
Right. Assessment, measures, and recommend actions for improvements. So how would you assess? What are those measures? Are your requirements clear, concise, and complete? Are your soft skills up to the mark when you're communicating with the stakeholders? Is your documentation complete? So these are assessment measures. So you need to know all of them. Otherwise, you won't get to know where to improve. And there is fourth element, which is recommend actions for improvements, which is you found what is wrong, but what is that which you can introduce as an improvement step? What is that idea that you can use in order to improve? So one idea is I just shared that you set up separate meetings with the stakeholders, and then you actually bring them together into one meeting room. Similarly, maybe you can ask for recommendation from others, or you can bring this up in. So then you identify. So then you identify using these techniques. So I think if you're talking about BA performance improvements, the important technique is metrics and key performance indicators, which are KPIs. Okay.
Right.
The rest of them, I think they're pretty much same that we discussed. So we'll move on to metrics and key performance indicators. So what are metrics and KPIs? Metrics and KPIs measure the performance of solutions, solution components, and other matters of interest to stakeholders. So we have metrics and we have KPIs. So what do you think is the difference between these two? Metrics
Um,
and KPIs.
so the metrics could be more of just identifying what the requirements are and maybe like who's responsible for that. The matrix, the KPI is actually the measurement or the variance of what we asked for and what we're getting and what the gaps might be. Well,
Well,
I mean, I usually know KPIs to be more of the measurement part of it to see more of a graphic of where we are.
yeah, yeah. Now you said it rightly. It is KPI is aligned with the goal or objective. It has a business aspect to it. Metrics. How do I? I'm just thinking of an example so that. So KPIs are linked to business, uh, but okay. Let's take an example of this team. So this is an operations team wherein 10 guys work on daily basis on work items. So you understand the concept of work items, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they're working on work items. So okay. So this. So let's say we want to count how many work items were resolved by this team in the month of November, right? So let's say they resolved. So 10, if they are resolving 20, then probably they resolve 200 work items, right? So that is 200 work items. So that is the metrics attached to that team. There could be another metrics in how many minutes an associate is able to resolve 5 work items, or let's say in 3 hours, uh, on an average, how many work items a team resolves. So all these are indicators, right? These are metrics. But if you attach it to a goal or objective, so let's say this team got a target. So they have been resolving 200 work items each month, or maybe 180 to 200 work items each month. They have a target of improving by 10%. So if they can improve by 10%, which means if they can reach a target of 220, that means their target will be achieved.
Right.
But what happens is next month this team is able to achieve 205. So we will calculate how much percentage that is, so that we can know uh, how close we are moving to our KPIs assigned, right? So that's why if you see the fourth item, it is KPIs to measure, then there should be an evaluation criteria, how you're going to evaluate that. So that's an important part, evaluation of your indicators. Reporting could be baseline reporting, current and target metrics. So baseline reporting is that's what uh, that is what will work as your baseline. It should not go below that. And then it could be current and target metrics, which means currently you are here and you have to reach there. So where you are currently, it will show against the target metric. So one good example that I can think of is you might have seen the burn down chart and burn up chart,
Right.
right? So there you have an uh, stories, ideal set of stories delivered, and then there is burn down and burn up shown against it, right? So the target one is the ideal path, and current one is the actual that you are burning up or we are burning down. That's how is the reporting thing. Uh, you should understand the quality of metrics and KPIs. You should understand that they are reliable, their their validity is they're valid. I mean, it's not that you're measuring something else, which doesn't make sense. So it should be quality metrics and quality KPI, right? So time